Previously on Roll Over and Die, engaged in a fierce battle with the maniacal, rhyme-spouting blue hag-like creature, most of the friendly boys fought for their lives, whilst Pirate Pip brewed up some potions of strength as she rifled through the den. Success always on their side, the intrepid group deal heavy blows to their enemy, enough to send her into retreat, but not before the oldest axe bade Chad to take the head of the mountain witch. And that's over and done with. We're ready to roll over and die.
Does someone think?
Yeah.
I could tell from the shoulder wiggles.
Yeah. So, we'll start off the episode with you, Parter. So you've managed to quell the 5 remaining hyenas that you have. They were biting and nipping at you. They've given you some superficial wounds, like scratches and a couple of bite marks here and there. Nothing that would remove any hit points. But yeah, they were acting up. You've not actually had this kind of interaction with a creature that you've summoned before.
Seems a little bit odd.
It certainly is.
Can I tell?
Sorry, go.
I was just going to say, can I tell why they're being like it?
You can do an animal handling check.
There we go. 17.
17. Nice. So with 17, you realise that though you're able to stop them from running rampant, but it wasn't your ministrations that directly affected their mood change. It was like a switch went off, and suddenly they're calm again.
Can I tell if there was anything that shifted or changed around me around that sort of time? Is there anything that I can tell?
What kind of thing are you looking for?
As their magic, I kind of want to do a detect magic.
Yeah, you can roll an Arcana check.
Yeah, I'm going to do an Arcana check. Damn it, it's -1. Oh, 4.
You don't feel that there was anything that affected them magically. Like their eyes didn't go a weird colour. Runes didn't appear on the floor around them. There wasn't like this ethereal singing that entered the chamber. But it seemed more sensory from their point of view.
Okay.
Like whatever was freaking them out is no longer an issue.
Okay. I'm just going to kind of look at them and be a bit like, all right, you can come with me. And yeah, I want to head down the tunnel.
Okay.
It's the only place I can see.
Yeah, other than the raging blizzard that's going on outside. But you know that everybody else went down this chute, which is where Chad went originally.
Before I go,
yeah,
I'm still in my robes, right? Those really baggy robes.
Yeah, that you got from the Minotaur.
Is there anything, any bodies, anything that I can maybe tie them up better or swap for something that fits me better?
Yeah, there was that the monk that got the head chopped off immediately. That's kind of more your size. The Minotaur's a bit too sort of big-shouldered for your frame.
Okay, I'm definitely gonna go over there. I'm gonna kind of do it with my eyes closed a bit because obviously beheaded and all that.
Yeah.
And I'll swap my clothes.
Cool. So you disrobe and you disrobe the
shut your eyes, little thing.
The beheaded monk, and then you put it on. It's a brown and orange like gi that they were wearing, with wraps around their hands and their feet. Relatively stereotypical for a monk to have. What would come down to their shin level probably comes down to your mid-thigh. So now it looks like you're wearing one of those very short, like 1980s dressing gowns.
I think I look rather fetching.
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna look at myself, be like, dust it off a little bit, and then head down the tunnel.
Cool. Snow's out, legs out, I guess.
That's all right. Maybe Chad will like it.
Maybe.
Never know.
So can you roll a dexterity saving throw for me, please?
Yes, I can.
As you dive headlong into this dark tunnel.
Oh, for God's sake, 4.
4, yeah. In traditional party style, you just go head over heels, tumbling down this.
I've been down this tunnel already.
Yeah. And your hyenas don't really fare much better, and you just end up in a big, like, shaggy pile of dog fur at the bottom.
I'm going to take the advantage of just getting a chance to have a cheeky little play with my
Okay.
puppies before I remember that I'm in a dark tunnel.
Yeah, you tussle with them. Oh, you do have dark vision.
Oh, no, I don't
You do
think I
not.
do.
No.
No, I don't.
So
I
it is
do
pitch
have
black.
I've got my, where is it? My druid craft. I'm gonna.
You can
Is
predict the
there
weather down here.
anything?
Or
I was gonna say, is there anything that I can ignite, or should I just? I'm just gonna have a floating flame around me.
well, in your equipment pack, yeah, you don't have anything
No, nothing that was
specific.
not magic.
Yeah. Oh, good point. Yeah, I forgot that it all blew off.
Oh, can I very quickly? How far have I fallen down?
It's about a 30 to 40 foot chute.
Can I make it
Diagonally
back up
down.
quite quick?
Potentially, yeah.
Yes. What I'm thinking is I kind of probably should have checked for something that I could have lit.
Yeah.
So I'm going to run back up very quickly to not drag it out. I want to run back up, search for something that I can light as a torch and then run back down.
Yeah. So you go back up there, you find the monk's staff, you also wrap around the Minotaur's robes that you disrobed, and then you use your druid craft to set fire to it, and you have a makeshift torch now.
Oof.
As you slide on your bum all the way back down the shaft again.
Yeah. Cool. And then I'm going to dust myself off and carry on.
Can you do a survival check for me, please?
Oh, I don't like the sound of this. Oh, that's a bit better. 10, 15.
Ooh. So it's very obvious in this torchlight. As soon as you start into this very accurately angularly carved labyrinth, on the floor are about 5 immaculate pieces of lemon tart, all arranged in a line.
Oh, well, it'd be a bit rude of me not to have this lemon tart, wouldn't it?
As you get a bit closer, with a survival check of 15, you see that they are gently placed in a streak of blood.
There's no blood on the tart, though, is there?
They seem to be like just resting upon the stone of which something previously had been dragged along the top.
I'm sure the blood's nothing, so I'm going to pick each bit up. I'll get my hyenas to have a little lick of the blood. They can have the blood, and I'll have the tart.
Yep. You command your hyenas to start licking the blood up off the floor, which they do. Being scavengers, you go to collect the first piece of tart, and your hand goes straight through it.
What?
Like
no.
Like a hologram.
No. I try again.
Yeah, your hand just goes straight through it.
I kick dusted it, and then I'm going to run to the next one. Try that one.
Okay. You run the 8 inches between the foot to the next one, and
8
again,
inches is a lot.
And you try and grab this one, and the same thing happens. Your hand goes straight through it.
I don't like this. Why would somebody be this cruel? And I'm gonna keep on going along to each one.
Yeah, same thing happens for the 3rd, the 4th, and the 5th piece of tart. It also looks like the most pristine lemon tart you've ever seen. The slice is perfect, and there is a sprig of mint on the top and a strawberry on there.
Is there anything that I can see around that indicates what is going on?
Looking around further, no, you just seem to be in the stone corridor with these 5 bits of lemon tart on there, but roll an investigation check.
Oh, for God's sake.
6.
Wow.
No, yeah, it just is 5 pieces of lemon tart on the floor.
All in one direction?
Yes, they are all in the same direction.
Is there any other avenue that I can go down?
There is.
What, so it forks?
Yeah.
And I've gone down the route with the
lemon tart on it, yeah.
Yeah, I'm just going to carry on going down.
Cool.
Maybe there's some real lemon tart. Maybe this is a little trick just to get my hopes up.
Okay.
I'm just going to keep on talking to myself.
You carry on. The hyenas, it's a little bit of slow going because the hyenas are just licking up the blood as you go. Like mini Roombas. Well, not mini Roombas. Huge feral Roombas. And you get to, we'll still use the same survival check that you had before, which is 15. You get to a certain point, and your foot slips momentarily.
Oh.
But because the trap's already been activated, you see that there is a 5-foot wide hole in the floor. And if you peer down it, it's just beneath them is all of these sharpened rock spikes, like stalagmites.
Can I quickly wave and just see if there's anybody down there?
Yeah, you
any of my friends?
wave the torch over there.
Yeah.
And when you look down, there are a couple of skeletons like impaled upon these spikes.
Not fresh.
Not fresh.
Are there any... Oh, actually, yeah. Are there any weapons that I could reach that I can see that may belong to these bodies?
Roll a perception check.
11 plus 5, 16.
16. As you're waving the torch over the top of these bodies, something glitters, catching the light.
How can I reach it? I tried to reach it without.
It's quite far down, but you are quite long. So you think we actually roll an acrobatics check as you're like precariously reaching down.
I don't think I've rolled this much in like the last 20 episodes. 11.
11. You nearly slip into the pit.
No.
You just managed to catch yourself at the last moment. In fact, one of the hyenas like grabs onto your foot, like very slightly impales you with his teeth. But you just managed to get your fingertips to lock it around this person's neck.
Oh, nice. Then I'm gonna like pinch through it, so I've got it, and then I'm gonna just quickly tug and just be like, "Pull me back! Pull me back!"
The hyenas like pull you up by your ankles,
like
by the scruff of your Achilles heel, and as you yank the locket, the spine breaks and the head just rolls off, and you get the locket in your hand.
Chad would have liked that one. Cool. Can I just want, is there anything that I can tell? Is it magical? Is it just a?
Unless you can cast detect magic, you would be able to tell right off the bat.
I do have detect magic. Yeah, I'm going to use detect magic.
Okay.
Done.
So you cast detect magic. You know that this is an amulet of protection, which did not serve its former wearer that well whilst falling into a pit of spikes. But maybe you will fare better with it.
I can't go much worse than the necklace I got in a moment, so I'm going to put it on. See if it counters.
So you pop it on, just to give you a little bit of a visual representation of it. It's a very thin gold chain, and it's an oval locket, and the oval locket on itself on the front and the back has got just some ornate filigree.
Sounds lovely. Goes with my new robes. Lovely.
Yep.
Okay, yeah, I'm going to pop that over, and then I'm going to take a running jump and over the pit.
Okay. Can you roll an athletics check for me?
I don't want to, because I'll probably fall in. Oh, yeah, here we go. +2, 19. There we go.
Easy. Yeah, you just, because of your height and the height of this corridor, you take a few steps back, you take a running jump, and you have to cannonball just so you don't like knock yourself out on the ceiling. But then you land expertly on the other side. Your hyenas kind of don't fare too well with getting across. In fact, you lose one into the pit, and you just hear this yelp and squeal as the rearmost hyena slips on the ice and gets impaled on the rocks below, and so you're down to 4.
He was only the runt. It's fine, I guess. I'm going to pick up 2 just under my arms.
Yeah.
I'll look after you. It's all right.
And you are strangely strong. And you carry these hyenas under your arms, tucked in your arms, like little pups. Yep. It's not too long. You've been probably walking 7-8 minutes. When you get to a wall, and on the left side of the wall, just before you get any further, you notice a big black scorch mark.
Can I look at it further, please?
Yeah, roll an investigation check for me, please.
7 plus -1. 6.
6. It is a big black shadow scorch mark. Run your finger along it, like the ash comes off. So the only thing you can really tell is that it's not super old.
Can I taste it?
Yeah, you taste it. Tastes like soot.
Yeah. Tastes
Yes.
a bit like.
Yes, Chad.
Wasn't there something left on that indent, that smoldering, ashy indent?
Yeah, but he did not roll that well.
Oh, I thought he would have seen it regardless. Okay, never
I
mind.
suppose he might have done. Yeah, what is your passive perception actually, Barty? Your passive perception is as you inspect this soot, you find a little message like drawn into it with a fingernail, and it says "Love Chad."
I've got a message. I'm gonna draw a heart around it.
Okay.
Is there anything else that I can tell that is like directional or anything else like that?
Not with your investigation check, no.
Damn it. I've got a little smile on my face. I feel a little bit warmer now, having seen that. I know I'm in the right direction. I'm going to put my hand just next to the heart, so it creates a little hand, and I'm gonna make a smaller hand. Just pretend that's Chad's. Put that on the other side of it, and then I'm going to carry on walking.
Okay. Yeah. So as you carry on for another sort of 5 minutes or so, you start hearing sounds from up ahead. They are shouting, like a roaring sound.
Aurora or a
roaring? Yeah, you can't hear Aurora, unfortunately.
Fair. Yeah, fair.
And you hear the clang of metal, and so shouting, roaring, clang of metal.
Can I recognize
pops?
Can I recognize any of the?
Yeah, roll a
noises?
perception check.
Yeah,
why not?
I'm just taking advantage of all this rolling. I just want to. Damn it. Perception +5. 11.
Nothing specifically identifiable sort of permeates that, but you think you might hear a couple of words that come out, which are used in the casting of spells. Do you think there are spells being cast up ahead?
God, I gotta check it. And it's only one direction, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Don't get excited, Eddie. I'm gonna pick up my pace, but like still be really cautious. So I'm gonna kind of run ahead, but not burst into wherever this is coming from.
Cool. As you cautiously tiptoe around the corner, what you see is there is a battle going on. There are most of your companions are there. There is a couple of them behind a creature that they're fighting, and a couple of them on the other side, like bandos in the air, like flying in place as if he should be moving forward, but is not gaining any traction. Chad and Mike like between you and this creature, and suddenly it turns around and casts something, and the whole cave system starts collapsing. What do you do? You've got a split second to decide what you want to do.
I definitely run towards my group and burst in as much as I don't want to.
As you're running towards this cave in, you see that with all the time you've been making hearts around Chad's message and putting little handprints on there and tussling with your hyenas and going back upstairs and getting things, you don't think in your present form you will make it through the cave in.
Oh no.
You're going to have to do something.
What can I do? I'm going to have to... Hang on, let me just double check. I've got enough. I'm going to have to wild shape.
What do you wild shape into?
How badly is everything collapsing? I'm assuming like really badly, right?
Yeah, you're basically in a mine, and the mine shaft is collapsing around you. So you know that there's like hundreds, if not thousands, of tons of rock above you. You certainly don't want to be caught under it.
I am going to... This is pressure. This is pressure. I am going to change into a spider. Tiny beast.
Tiny spider.
Tiny spider.
Okay. So I need to do a dexterity saving throw for me, please.
Please don't crush me. Please don't squash me. 12.
12. As you're running towards your companions, you can just see them on the other
hang on.
side.
Is it dexterity as in spider, right? Not my actual.
Yes.
Sorry, 15.
15.
No. Yeah. Hang on. I'm confused.
Yeah, it'll be your physical spider stats.
Sorry. 13.
13, okay. So you're running as Parter, run. The whole thing starts collapsing in. There's only like a small gaps here and there before the whole thing completely gets cut off. You jump in the midair, turn into a tiny house spider, and then for you, everything goes black. So we'll go back to the rest of the group.
Before, were the hyenas still in your arms?
Yeah, they would have been. So he would drop them when
Okay.
he turned into a spider.
I mean,
Okay.
they'd have worn off at some point anyway, wouldn't they? No, they wouldn't until they die.
Yeah. You're great at all of you are great at having pets. And to be fair, Pip's very good at having a pet.
I've never had a pet, so
Yeah, there you go. Well, you got a pet axe.
I think you might be muted, Ellie.
No.
Oh, there you
Oh,
are.
okay.
Sorry,
Yeah.
didn't hear you before. Yeah, you're Pip quiet.
All I said was it's probably best for you not to have a pet.
Oh, I absolutely agree with that.
He'd probably cut off his other arm and stick it to that.
That'd be cool.
Pet snake, and then it could be part of your arm. Like,
Snakes.
Thanks.
Oh no!
Yeah, so we're back to you. Obviously, the last episode, everything has happened. You are back in the den, and you've kind of sorted through everything. Pip, you take a look at these potions that you've salvaged. They are now on your character sheet.
Wait, was it me?
Yes, Pip, didn't you go into the
No,
cauldron?
it was me.
Was it you that went into the cauldron?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I'll remove those from Pip's sheet and I'll put them onto. That's fine.
Pip can have them because I am pretty strong already. She is.
Oh, okay. But if you want to hand them over to Pip, then
Yeah.
you can. So,
There you
Pip, you now have these 3 potions of hill giant strength.
Little giant strength.
Yes.
Strong, tiny frog.
Buff, tiny frog. Buff, tiny frog. So what are you doing? This cave-in's happened. Obviously, the creature that you're fighting is dead. You've just moved the tapestry, and you can find that there is another aperture behind it.
We figured out where the other exit was, right? It wasn't through a tunnel or a
I found a
chute.
map, and it was like a temple or something.
Yeah. Did you just say there's another aperture behind the map?
Well, that was where the tapestry was hanging.
Okay.
You felt that there was a gust of wind behind it, and then you looked behind it, and you saw what you saw.
Right. So, I mean, we should get out of here, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although we'll never know what the ship thing was about, like, which is weird, right? We okay with that?
We are quite used to not knowing.
Also true. Okay, well, that's right enough.
Yeah, I mean, there's no other where for us to go. Like, it feels like we're at the center of this labyrinth. Is that right?
You don't know if you're at the center of it, but you're certainly in it.
But there's no other, because like the way that we came in, there was no other. At least before we found this map, there was no other exit, right?
From exactly where you are now, there's that secret entrance behind the tapestry.
Yeah.
The place that you've come from is caved in, but there were other avenues that you could have gone down in the labyrinth. But that's why you're rolling your survival check for, and you're following the blood, and the blood is here.
Right.
So yeah, the labyrinth is bigger than what you traversed.
Got it. What do you think? Is there any reason to go?
Well, we can't go back because it's caved in. So
Yeah.
I think temple.
Temple it is. Let's go temple crashing.
Is the blood continuing, by the way?
You know enough to know that the blood has ended here. somewhere
Okay,
in the den. In fact, it's actually being dragged over towards where the cauldron was.
that makes sense. So we are officially without purpose now because the thing we were chasing is strength 2.
Yep.
Cool.
So
I'm
glorious.
As we were.
Chad, what kind of proximity are you within everybody else here?
I was still outside fighting, right? I don't think I went into this little bead room.
Probably not
That
yet.
was
Yeah.
Pip and Aya, so I'm probably
Yeah.
still outside, where I'm yelling at my axe to quit chopping heads off.
Okay. As you're
Okay.
yelling at your axe to quit chopping heads off, I need you to do a Constitution saving throw.
Oh man! Ooh, that's actually better than I usually get. 20.
Wow. Okay. Cool. So you start getting a splitting headache, and everything like you kind of go temporarily blind for a second.
Oops. Okay.
You drop to one knee, and then you get a lot of like rushing images, as if you're in a tunnel going at a great speed, and everything's in black and white, and you're getting these images coming at you. You see a multitude of statues, like in one frame of the picture as it rushes by. There's another image of what looks to be some kind of cult or religious ceremony that's happening, and then that rushes by as well. And then the images start slowing down so you can get a better look at them. You can kind of recognize the creature that you're fighting, but it looks a lot younger. Isn't hunched over, doesn't have the features of a hag. In fact, looks quite youthful and exuberant, and it's part of this ceremony, standing on a dais or dais, and there is crowds of people around her. They're all wearing, they're all sectioned off, like they're in pews, and they're wearing different raiments, but there is identifiable groups of them, but they're all together in these pews. Then another image rushes by, and you see some of the statues like splitting in half and crumbling down. And then there's more images of this creature, this person this creature that you're fighting, but this person as they were, like picking through dead bodies, salvaging some of the like the vestments and religious artifacts from it. And then time goes forward a little bit more. You see that she's now dragging some of the bodies out, and you can even see her, like she's much, much thinner, pale, gaunt. And you see her like cooking parts of the people that had died in this ceremony. And then it flashes forward. She's just got rags on at this point, has like her skin sallowed and drawn in, her fingernails have elongated. She's fashioned out like this stone type dagger, and she's preying on like rats and spiders and like large millipedes and things like that. And then it flashes forward again, and you see her with a black leather bound tome that she's reading through, and she starts like dipping her elongated nails and scratching in these indecipherable words in the back of it. And then it goes forward again, and you see that she's now looks more like the creature that you were fighting, and she's preying upon, like luring people in to where she's like now in residence in this den.
In the den that we're in right now?
Correct.
Okay.
And then your sight comes back to you. You now see two things. The Alder's axe, there is no more flame or ice pouring off it, or acid or poison dripping off of it. The eye is completely closed. It's still an axe. You can still use it as a magical item, but all of the effects are now off, and it looks dormant at this point. The second thing you see is that there's a tiny little spider sitting on the shaft of the
Sitting on the shaft.
Yes, of the axe, and it's one of its front forelegs just rears up and starts doing that. It starts waving back to you.
Guys, I found a spider.
I mean, I've got a huge spider. We don't need another one.
Yeah, but I like this spider.
Hey.
Also, what?
Oh, smash burger. You don't like smash burger? Don't let him hear you say that.
I'm going to
Burger.
call...
Yeah. When Chad rejoins the rest of the people, which I assume he does, because otherwise you're just shouting at each other through a beaded curtain.
Yes.
Parter, you see, you might probably have at this point repositioned yourself upon Jad's person, and you see the rest of your friends, and what looks to be that frost spider that Aya summoned when you were in the dwarven stronghold, but is now being referred to as Smashburger. And there is no Kenko.
Oh, that's sad. Oh, hang on. Ash. Oh no. Oh, I licked it. Oh no.
Yep.
I'll tell you what, Kenko didn't taste very nice.
Hey.
Kenko was not
You say this, but all there's just a tiny little squeaking chitter.
Shitter?
Chitter.
Oh, chitter. Like chitter chatter. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to just kind of cower a little bit behind Chad's head.
Okay. I'm just going to let you know, like, you are a spider that's like a 5p piece size.
Yes. That was my intention, to get through little gaps. Yes.
And you now just hide in his... You don't actually have any top clothes, do you? Clothes for your torso, Chad?
Oh, me? No.
No.
We've established that I have pants over the course of like multiple episodes.
Yeah.
But, yes.
I couldn't remember if like you'd put on like a...
I had a captain's
leather
jacket for a
waistcoat.
little while,
Yeah.
and then we got captured, and
Yeah, that's
I
true.
lost my jacket.
I'm just going to crawl up, so I sit right on top of his head here.
Yep. You're
And
now like in amongst his like lizard fins.
Yeah.
On his...
I'm just going to stroke his head a little bit.
Okay.
And then hopefully that will just indicate that he knows it's me.
I don't know it's him, but I like this spider.
Yeah.
I just keep scratching behind his ear like a dog.
He has no ear. He's just got holes. You can crawl inside his ear canal if you want to.
I keep.
Don't
Don't
find
do that.
holes. That's not happening.
I tickle
do
his
that.
hole.
Don't.
I don't. I carry on just patting his head a little bit.
You're just doing a world tour of Chad's head.
Yes.
Great. Back to the vision I had. Did I recognize any of the statues as being anything related to old gods that I've seen before, or anything that I would have recognized at one of our sexy temples we've been to before?
Why doesn't old Chad roll a religion check for me, please? He's not a sex god.
He's a sexy god.
He was wearing leather,
16.
leading
That's
people
not
by.
so many people in this. No, it's fine. Sorry, what did you get, Chad?
16.
16. Yeah, you think you pick out. I'm going to say, yeah, you do see a couple of statues that fit descriptions from just a couple of books that have just fallen open as you've been lifting them in Akaran's library. And they've just fallen open on the floor. You see like a Zeus-looking type of dude. That kind of looks like one of the statues that you saw in your vision. And you do see a sexy god as well in there. One of them's a sexy god, sure.
Describe him.
Oh god, I'm going to have to pull up the...
Other chats?
So Yuan looks like
is Yuan?
Yeah. He is his totem is the veiled man. So he's actually wearing a veil, almost just like a satin hood over his head, and then he's like the statue itself is made to look like of a slender man, not the slender man, but a slender man, like in ornate looking godly leather armor, and he is he's also got a cape on as well on the back.
My name is Yuan.
Yeah, Yuan.
I'm a sexy Cape God.
Posh.
Yeah, the posh, sexy god Yuan.
I don't think I'm going to get anything more out of this, but knowing that she was worshiping and potentially corrupted by the new god, old gods. What was it? Old god?
These are all gods.
Old god. Can I encourage? I don't know, Aya. Have you like actually looked into the old gods at all? I feel like it's related to you in some way, shape, or form.
Only what I read in my book.
Is there anything that she would be able to perceive from this
From your description,
Haggy witch, or my description?
yeah, so you'd have to like describe things to her. So why don't you roll a performance check to try it?
And
Wow, okay.
natural 20.
You
That
rolled
is
so
very
well.
unlike me. I know. It's all going to go downhill next episode. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, Aya, you can actually, because you've been reading that book for so long, you think this is a temple to the 26 old gods.
Oh shit!
Like all of them are represented here.
They're all so there's multiple different statues. We
Yes.
just have to pick the
Yeah, there's 13 on each side.
Is there any that like are new to me? Because I'd written down when we were going bit by bit, and there was like I wrote down 4. Ewan was one of them, and it was Freya, Khan, and Clemaine.
Yeah.
I only know those 4.
Yeah, it's definitely one that conforms to Khan. You know him as his totem is the blinded hunchback. So there is like a hunched over god that's got a piece of cloth wrapped around his head, and he's surrounded around his feet by a bunch of kobolds, which are like little dragon people.
I've got that Freya as a child and Clemaine as a reaper.
Yes. Freya is. Let me just. There. Yeah, Freya is the child. Yeah.
The other statues spark any knowledge that I didn't already have.
Yeah, I mean now he's describing them. They all fit with these original 26. There's even one space for the god the god that nobody talks about.
Did I notice anything that isn't in my big book?
Yeah, there's that one statue of the god that nobody talks about that is not in that book.
Oh, I thought it was just a space. There's an actual statue.
With the natural 20, yeah, he can recite to you that there was a part and a plinth for it, the same as the other 13, the other 26, but it was heavily defaced, so you can't tell like what the original totem was, but you assume that it doesn't conform to the other 25.
But he can't tell any other bits about like what
It's been specifically defaced or desecrated.
What if it's you?
I think if I was a god, we'd have a much easier time.
Sorry.
What? I don't know. What if Aya was on that plinth?
Does it look like the buffest person I've ever seen?
I'm not an old god, Pip.
I wasn't talking about you.
It's so heavily defaced, like
Yeah, you can't tell.
it's been carved, like it's not just the face that's been scratched out, like everything on it, all of the details have been stripped completely down. So it's like it's missing an arm that was held out at some point, but there's just like a stump there now.
He's got an arm. It's all in and out.
Yeah,
It could be me.
the other arm that was like holding
That
its
is
own
Old
waist.
God.
Yeah. The other arm that's holding its waist has just been like removed of all detail, and it's just been hacked all the way down, like in an irregular shape. Almost looks like an artistic impression of a shadowed figure, like very abstract.
But does it look like someone that would be really good at kickball?
Maybe. I mean, the statue itself is like 20 feet tall, so that's an advantage.
Oh.
Hi, Chad. He got so offended by all my buff comments.
Yeah, I'm the buffest. I'm going to show you. I'm going to grab my weights.
Do we know how old this place is?
Chad didn't really get a sense of time, which has occurred. you're not really sure of the age of this hag. If you can kind of determine the age of the hag, you could probably then determine when she was there.
If only Potter was here to do his medicine check, so he's so good at it.
Yeah.
Do you say that out loud?
Yeah.
Do you say that out loud?
Yeah.
Then I rear two of my front legs and I just poof back to myself while sitting on Chad's head.
And you barely notice. But there are. Oh no, you're wearing that really small 1980s. So there's these thin, bare legs like dangling around your either side of your neck, Chad, like a fleshy scarf.
They're not legs.
Did this skirt go over my face or behind?
And no, it's kind of like rucked up behind the back of your neck. Like
It's not a skirt.
The front of it is kind of like caught up on your lizard fronds on the top.
Very confused.
Yeah. So you feel two legs either side, and then like him pressing against your neck.
My hands on my hands on your head.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just sit there a little bit,
So weird.
and I just look over at Aya, and I'm just like, I'm here.
Maybe I am a god. I just summoned Potter.
I've been here all along. Sort of. What was it you wanted me to do?
We killed someone again, unsurprisingly, since we last saw you.
Okay, I'm just stroking Chad's head whilst you're doing this.
I don't expect anything less at this point. She started it, which is important for you to know.
They
But-
always start it. It's fine. They always start it. It's not our fault.
Not when you're involved, for sure. Do you know how old this corpse is?
I can have a little go at trying to work it out.
So
What
if you
have I
roll
got
a medicine check for me, please.
Yeah, man.
As you
I can
approach
do
the corpse that A is indicated to, it's just this old. Well, you've seen the creature from afar. Now you get up to it. It's in tattered, old, stitched up robes, and their head itself has been just roughly split in two. Like the skull has just been split open like a cantaloupe.
Well, so I rolled an 18, but I'm going to quickly look back at Chad and be like, have you been swinging your little axe again?
I didn't mean to, but it's asleep now.
And
Say
then I'll
hi.
go back.
You're just like flailing this incredibly powerful magic item around. With an 18, you don't get an exact age, but you do think that this type of creature could have been around for 2,000 years.
Wow. I think it could be really old.
How
Like-
old?
Old. Like, we're talking
I
higher than I can count. Probably like
need you to try.
1,000 days or years, 1,000 years to 2,000 years. Maybe 3,000 or 2,500. I'm not really sure, but definitely over 1,000, maybe 1,500. Does that help?
I just
Makes sense to me.
don't know.
It's just really old. I've never seen something this old, and I've seen a lot of things.
The last time I summoned Potter.
Well, you can't get rid of me. I'm here. I've almost died twice. You've never got rid of me, so you know.
Don't listen to her. I'm glad you're back.
And a high five. Just be like,
No.
Oh.
Because you're on my
What are you
shoulder.
cooking?
Even
no,
with the
don't-
medicine check, you haven't let him get off.
oh,
Did he? I don't
Just
know. I
like-
just assumed he was on my shoulder. It's not
just
like I couldn't let him get off.
So there's like a CSI style investigation
Ellie.
but where Chad, you've had to like kneel down so he can like drape over the back of your head, and, which is quite the sight because Chad having to kneel down and bend over, then just like the rope kind of hikes up a little bit, and everybody's like, "Oh," averting your eyes.
I'm really sorry.
It's at this point. I shouldn't really play into all this. At this point, you notice that, like averting your eyes from Chad and Parter, you notice that Mike's not here either. Like
What happened to Mike?
She's disappeared again. like she did at the
Probably
beginning of this
praying
fight.
with the blood.
God damn it.
Hey, where's our sexy vampire? Is he with us?
Am I?
He
Oh, yeah.
is. He's leaning up against the doorway with the beaded robes. His
Oh.
arms folded. His left leg is like cocked up nonchalantly on the back wall, and he's just staring at Parter and Chad doing this investigation.
I really hate. I feel like his eyes undress all of us. Whispering into Chad's ear.
You say is like just wearing this tiny robe around your waist.
I got your message. I knew you felt the same.
Love Chad.
I love Chad too.
Me too.
It's okay.
You've got one thing in common: you both love
We
Chad.
both love Chad.
I
Isn't
feel
that what all
Parto
good
is
relationships
such a
do?
one-way. Like, yeah.
I'm really sad that we killed this old thing that knew everything about everything for the past 1,000 years.
She was pretty
Hang on.
evil.
Out of character, just really quickly. I kind of feel like I need a bit of perspective on this. Have you done what we always do, where we killed before we ask questions?
She attacked us, didn't she?
Yeah,
She did. Yeah, she ambushed
Yeah.
you.
But
She
we also
ambushed us.
trapped her in spider webs and like froze her to the wall and stuff, and we still killed her.
But the basis of our whole campaign is built around like this cataclysm and old gods, and we're in a room which links back to all the old gods, and you've killed the woman that was in it.
Maybe that
I
might
just
be.
want to say, I really tried to stop.
Me too.
I mean, I know I've been pretty hopeless at this, but that's shocking. Come on.
Even Parter's did-
Wow.
Who
if
could have
Parker
seen
was
that
here,
coming?
it wouldn't have
Oh.
happened.
Anyway,
Too far this time.
back into character. Oh, she's a bit old, isn't she? She's fine. She's probably all right.
She's probably all right, and her head is like at right angles from each other.
Yeah. Way to go, Aldous.
Thanks.
Just very lightly purring
Should-
on the of your hand.
The tunnel out leads to a temple, though, right?
Yeah, the one that's hidden by this
Yeah, let's-
tapestry.
Let's go to that
leads-
temple. We might find something else. Maybe another.
Can we just search her body, see if she had any, notes or something about how to save the world, just on the off chance?
You can do, yeah. Who wants to roll over the body?
I will.
Okay. Can you roll an investigation check for me, please?
I'm gonna now let him off my shoulders.
13. Hang on. If I've got luck still. I've got luck. Hang on. Oh yeah, I'm going to use lucky.
Okay.
I'm going to roll again. Do you take the highest if
Yes,
it's luck? Okay.
I think.
Yeah. Just take my first one. 13.
Okay. Will do. So I need you to do a roll a d12.
Oh. Roll one,
It's part with all the rolls tonight.
Sorry.
11. And can you roll me a d6?
1.
And then can you roll me a d100?
Is this what it feels like to have the oldest?
Yeah, why are you rolling all of those?
I don't know.
Okay. So you 50. Okay. 50. Here we go.
You do? I see yours, but
So there's not a huge amount that's left on her. She keeps like little scraps of what looks like teeth. Like there's a pocket with just teeth in it. There's like tucked into like her vestment is what looks to be like a dried piece of rat that she's been gnawing on for the last couple of days. And there are like scraps of cloth, like a few like desiccated, dried out eyeballs that she's like wearing around her neck. She's barely got any hair left. But one thing you do find that's tucked into the inside of her like robes, like almost stitched into it, is a sort of a completely dog-eared like manuscript of some kind. About A5 size, about this size. Roughly bound together and has been like scratched at with some kind of like dark brown ink.
can I read it? Can I make heads nor tails of it or not?
What languages can you speak?
I can speak Common, Druidic, Elvish, Giant, and Sylvan.
It's written in Elvish.
Yeah.
It is a 300-page rulebook for rock, paper, scissors.
I begin reading it at the next stop. Is that literally all it is? There's no other
300 pages of the rules for rock, paper, scissors that she has made up.
I have got an excellent game for us to play at the next stop, my friends. I'm going to pocket that, but before I got to that bit, I was like, as I got to the teeth, threw it over my shoulder towards Chad and whoever else is behind.
Yep.
And the eyes.
It's okay. So much like the most macabre wedding you've ever been to, but instead of rice, people are just throwing teeth and eyeballs at you.
Catch.
They both clatter and squelch as they hit the floor.
I am ignorant to that because I've suddenly found this rule book and I'm flicking through and I stand up and just turn around and walk back towards the group.
Okay. Parter's reading this ancient Elvish manuscript that he's found on the body.
Can I start doing some hand gestures as well?
Yeah, he starts making these eldritch, mystical and unfathomable gestures with his hand as he consults this tome of otherworldly knowledge.
Ooh. Sorry, doors open, storms coming.
Tempest.
I've just realised I'm not going to be able to play it with Chad. He's only got one hand.
I know. Axe.
Yeah.
You're
You can do it with one hand, can't you?
You don't need two hands to play.
Oh, yeah.
The other one's
Like,
Play the games that I play. Remember, this is the 300-page rule guide, right?
that's true.
This rule book has. You've just been playing the amateur version. This is the pro.
I'll hold my severed arm with my other arm and play with that one.
Yeah, there you go. It's always paper. It's always paper or blade.
Or sword. Yeah.
I like it.
Let's go to the temple now that we know how to play a game.
Let's do it.
How do those two things fit together?
They don't, but now we know.
The more you know.
The more we can do.
So you take the tapestry off the wall, and again, there's this very it just smells of age, like ancient, stale air that hasn't been circulated for who knows how long.
She probably did.
Yeah, finally something to distract my bad smell.
It doesn't.
Oh.
If you're close to Chad, that's all you can smell.
Guys, it smells funky.
But if you're 10
This
feet
time
away
it's
from
not
him,
me.
you can smell the it's almost like a mausoleum, like that kind of smell that you get, just a mixture of dust and earth and stale air. Who's got dark vision?
I do.
None of them. Oh.
Hey.
No.
So you still... Oh no, you must have dropped your makeshift torch, Parter, when you turned into a spider, and probably lit the other two hyenas on fire.
All right, put them out of their misery before they got crushed.
I don't think that's the way you put things out of the misery, by setting them on fire.
You
That
just let me
causes
be me.
misery.
You just let me
Um,
be me. It's fine.
Okay.
Eventually, they'll be put out of their misery.
You're a Partifist.
It's a new version of pacifism.
Yeah, meaning the complete opposite of
Yeah.
pacifism.
It's that middle ground.
Is it?
Is it?
I'm going to
Like-
cast light on my shield again.
Okay. In that case, I was going to just describe it to you, Aya, but as you cast light on your shield, it illuminates this temple, a temple that has been described quite accurately, weirdly accurately, too accurately, by Chad. Chad, this is the temple that you saw in your dreams, in your vision.
I you saw it and it was literally downstairs.
Good
you
thing.
were just
Good
standing next to
thing I had that vision.
However, like the pews that you saw in your vision have long since rotted away. So have the bones have turned to dust. Really, the only things that remain are the superstructures, so the columns, the sort of where the dais would be, the raised platform, and then the alcoves. There are barely any left that have a resemblance of the statues that you once recognized in your vision.
Should we investigate the temple any further? Or does it feel like, do I feel, based off of my vision, I feel like there's nothing else to glean from exploring? I kind of want to explore anyways.
Your vision doesn't infer either way, really.
I want to explore.
Okay. Right, so you start explore. Well, what do you explore specifically? You've got like the probably completely
Based
ruined
off
remains of the pews. Or
yeah,
you
based off of what I saw in my vision, there was like lots of people, right? And they were all separated into different groups.
Correct. Yeah.
I don't know. Did I notice them wearing anything in particular?
You did. Yeah, they're all wearing different vestments.
Can I search for vestments?
Sure. Roll an investigation check.
So many noises going on tonight.
I know. It's really loud. 10.
10. Yeah, you start like using the oldest axe, one of the most powerful magical items in the world, just to turn over stones and like completely.
I'm excavating.
ruin- Yeah.
Excavating.
Excavating.
Nice.
That's way better.
But you don't find any vestments.
Okay.
However, as you are exploring through the detritus, like venturing further and further into the temple, you do feel a pulling of sorts.
Sorry.
Can you roll an intelligence saving throw?
Uh-oh.
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 7.
What are the rest of you doing?
Kind of just looking around.
Mm-hmm. You're doing the same. So,
Yeah.
if you're just doing a casual, generic looking around, roll a perception check for me, please.
Yeah. Oh. No, that'd be a T100. Ooh, 19. What was it? Investigation.
Perception. If you're just doing like casual.
24.
24.
24.
You.
Give me that magic stuff. Come on.
I'm glad Aya summoned you.
You're kind of
Enjoy
like
it.
kicking around in this temple, like kicking up a bit of the dirt, which probably used to be people. It's making like dust go everywhere. Like just running your. I think you have a staff just through the ground, like picking up a stone, just hucking it down the rest of the temple, and hear it clatter against the stone. And before you even kind of think about it, you find yourself standing in front of a statue. It's one of the ones that has been the most well preserved, and it is that of a giant bear in front of you. Aya and Pip, what are you doing?
Could I have a look for the 26th one, the not there man?
Yes, you can. For this one, why don't you do a religion check?
I'm sorry, not just from this. My religion somehow is -2.
Makes sense. 8. You are examining each one by one. It's very difficult to determine at this point which one was the like defaced statue, because they all have suffered the weathers of time and some other kind of natural disaster that's happened down here, which may be the result of what killed a lot of the people down here.
Can I add, do you remember positioning of the scratched away one?
You shout that at Chad?
Yeah.
Chad has got his back to you, and he's he was just sifting through rubble and stuff. And when you shout at him, he just stays standing up and facing away from you, does not respond to you. Pip, what are you up to?
I am kind of oblivious as to what people are doing. Everyone kind of seems to just be looking for stuff and know more than I know what's going on. So I'm just going to start having a look around. I'm also still really angry at the axe. So I'm just going to be thinking about where I could find a diamond from.
A diamond? Ah, I see. Are you specifically looking for a diamond or just thinking about diamonds?
I'm from now until we find a diamond, I will be actively looking for a diamond.
Okay.
In everything I do.
I think in that case, roll a survival check.
Why do we need a diamond?
It'll get my arm off. Well, potentially.
As in, cut.
Sorry.
No, we need it for a spell.
Oh.
We have to kill someone. Maybe.
I rolled 18 and my survivor is +8.
Nice. Right, so I think you will end up... So I'm just going to double check which one I think would be good. Yeah, okay. You are thinking about diamonds. And you kind of wander off from everybody else as well. In a little bit of a little bit of a huff at what the older Zax has done. Looking in the ground for maybe these... You kind of overheard what Aya and Chad have been talking about, and that there were religious people down here. They seem to usually be quite wealthy. Maybe one of them was wearing a diamond necklace, for instance. And you're kicking stuff over, and you find yourself, you haven't found anything, and you just take a seat. And when you look up, you're sitting on the plinth of a giant deer. The deer is in a sort of a leaping pose. And you look up and you just see the hooves bearing down, but it's not in an ominous kind of way, in an almost sort of protective of you way.
That's nice.
So we'll go back to Chad. As you've been looking around, you rolled a... Sorry.
Not well.
Yeah.
7 total.
7 total.
Yeah.
Cool.
Great.
It's fine.
See, all my good rolls earlier amount to nothing once it actually matters.
Nah. What should I give you this?
I rolled really well to discover a room where we already were next to.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry.
This makes sense. You you've just stopped on your tracks, and you kind of almost get another vision. In fact, you do get another vision, somewhat similar to the one that you got from the older Zax. Almost like it's sort of channeling through it this time. It's not coming from the older Zax itself. It's dormant, but the older Zax acts like a doorway or a key or some kind of link for other things to get inside you. And this...
Sorry, Potter.
Vision-wise. And you start seeing a headaches, a migraine's worth of visions that just bombard your senses, as if your mind has been opened up to the world in general, and suddenly you're seeing through the eyes of every living creature in the world. I need you to do a Constitution saving throw.
That seems quite intense for your brain.
My head hurts.
I was going to say, your head's going to literally pop.
I did get a 20 though, so
Nice. So it does not overwhelm you. You ride out the feeling, and eventually things start calming down, and you start being able to sort of pick and choose what you see, and the visions are coming to you less and less fast, with less and less intensity. And one of the visions is of, again, everything's like not perfect. It's not like seeing things in real life or seeing things on television. It's all almost like it's implied, but like in a dream, where the visuals are not precise, but the feeling behind it is there. And you see a table you think is a round table, something that you might see at a bar or a tavern. And on this table, there are a bunch of hands around it, pairs of hands, and that's all you can see. But under each pair of hands, there are 7 cards splayed out. And you look down, you can see your own hands on the table with the 7 cards underneath it. And in front of you, one of the pairs of hands pushes out a card and turns it over. What do you do?
Does the hand flip it?
Yes.
What is the card?
The card is a tower.
Oh no. Is it upside down or right side up?
It's upside down to you, but right side up to the person that flipped it.
That's not good. Can I gesture towards the next card?
You have your own set of cards, and so do the other 5 people around you. It's the person opposite you that has taken the first action.
Okay, I'm gonna wait.
But
for...
you can gesture to it to carry on. Absolutely.
Oh, okay. All right. So there's seven people, 5 cards, or 5 cards per person.
6 people, including you.
Sorry, 6 people, including me.
7 cards per person.
7 cards per person. Okay. I'm gonna wait to see if anybody else flips a card. For just a second.
Yeah, you wait, and another card gets flipped over, and it is that of a gem.
Is it my cards that are flipping over, or is it the cards in front of them? Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Then I'm just gonna keep waiting until either it gets to me or that person flips all their cards.
This time, the person's nobody else. Like the other 4 people around you, the hands have been completely still. Their cards have not flipped over. But the person who has flipped over their 2 cards that are directly opposite you, reach over and take one of your cards and turns it over.
What is it?
It is an axe on that side.
Of course it is.
Of course it is. I'm going to use my axe and flip over one of their cards.
You have 2 hands. You don't have an axe hand.
Oh.
You've got your 2 normal hands.
Oh, okay. Well, then I'm going to do one of their cards.
Okay. When you turn over one of their cards, as you turn it over to expose the face of the card, just a stream of cards start flying out as if it was a portal, and inside the cards was just a compressed can of 1,000 cards. It starts spilling out and just completely blurs your vision. Everybody else, you can see that Chad has been motionless in this entire time and kind of slumps to one knee. Chad,
shit, shouldn't have done that.
You hear in your mind, everything just gets filled up by these cards, like you're drowning in a vat of cards. And the only thing you hear in your mind, you haven't heard anything other than the flick of cards, is Piranuptra. Piranuptra.
Nuptra. Okay.
Carter, where are you going?
Backing away into the wall.
Pip, as you say, Chad, where are you going? The deer above you, the giant stone deer, starts animating and starts kicking forward with his legs. and leaps over you. And as it leaps over you and into your vision and lands, there's like a wipe almost, as the body itself like obscures your vision from the rest of the temple. And suddenly you're in a glade that seems to extend beyond your realm of sight. And there's this deer standing in front of you. It trots off a couple of paces and stops and turns around. It's a deer in all other aspects apart from its eyes and its horns. The horns itself are like ornately carved. They have just swirls, really, but all very precisely made, carved into its horns. And its eyes are also swirls, like deep black deer eyes, but with these jagged, sort of abstract blue symbols in them that are constantly turning, like a clock, like a cog, almost.
I'm gonna follow it.
As you approach it, it kneels next to you, as if it wants you to mount it, like a horse.
Okay.
Good to clarify.
Nothing bad can happen from me.
As soon as you like climb aboard, it stands up and starts running at full pace. So much so that you have to like reach forward and grab onto its horns. As you do that, like your wraps start to peel away off of your hands, and underneath the wraps are these same like swirly symbols that are on its horns. They now like extend up your hands and like underneath your armor. And it starts running you through the glade. Sorry, I have to double check something. Yeah. And as you're running through this glade, you feel like this pressure above you. And then shortly after that, like fractions of a second after it, you hear this mighty whooshing sound. And these 2, 3, 4 metallic dragons pass overhead and start flying like in tandem with you aboard this deer.
Okay. Do I feel like do I get the sense that the deer is taking me towards something?
You don't know if it's a destination rather than the process. Like you've accepted to be born by this, like born as in like carried by this creature, rather than it's taking you anywhere in particular. And then looking up, just more and more of these dragons of various different sizes start blotting out to the sky until you can no longer see the sun at all. And everything goes black. And when you kind of come to, you're back in the cold, oppressive, damp, ruined temple. But you look down at your hands and they don't have the wraps on them anymore. And you still have these swirling patterns on your hands.
Okay.
And sorry, what can you speak Draconic?
No. I can speak Celestial, Gnomish,
Okay.
Ground, Underground.
I don't want to say with Celestial, they could probably get a bit of it out there. It looks like these swelling patterns are making up like words, and
Okay.
you can pick out a name on both outside of your forearms. It's Tremere.
Tremere.
Yeah.
Okay. Is the statue still behind me?
Yeah, you look up and it's exactly like where I was before.
Can I investigate the statue?
Yeah. Roll an investigation check.
5 plus 3. Do I still get the plus from Aya, or is that only in battle?
It's only on saving throws rather than like skill checks. Yeah, patting it down, you kind of like check around it. it there's nothing unusual about it. It just feels cold to the touch. But when you start running your hands over the deer, where the swells are on your skin, and you can feel it even under your armor, going up to about your elbow length, feel warm, but not like an unpleasant burning sensation, just like a warm, comforting sensation.
Okay. Do I feel, other than the warmth,
Yeah.
do I feel any different?
No, not especially. But this has all been quite a something you might need to reflect on.
Okay. And I don't see a diamond anywhere.
You don't see the diamond there.
Okay. Cool. That was a weird experience.
Yeah. Parter.
Yo.
The bear.
If you want to call me that, then please do.
I think you need to do... This makes sense. Yeah, this actually doesn't make super sense to you. Can you do a strength saving throw for me, please?
Oh no, not a bear wrestling, am I? Oh, really? 4.
4.
Yeah.
So with a 4 in total, you feel you're looking up at the statue, and then there's like, when you can feel someone staring at you. There's that sensation, but instead of someone looking at you, you can feel like someone's pressing up against you.
Right.
So you look around for something like touching you, and you're alone. Like you snap to one side and the other. There's nothing next to you. But the more you look around, the more you feel like warm bodies like pressing up against you.
Multiple.
Yeah. Like surrounding you.
Oh.
And then you start smelling. Like you start smelling like more like an earthy, animalistic smell. And then you start like feeling fur like brushing up against you.
Can I reach out and touch the bear statue?
Yeah, as you reach out and touch the bear statue, like your hand goes through the bear statue, and you start getting pulled into the bear statue, and you fall out the other side, and you're in a dimly lit, sort of a similarly lit place to where you're on the temple, except instead of Aya's shield light, there is just a small dot opening like far away, and you can now hear like snuffling around you, still these same bodies around you, like writhing all around you.
I don't know what to do. I'm physically me.
Yeah, you're physically you. Still the same Parter.
I'm gonna try and crawl away from these writhing furry bodies towards the light.
As you do, you like extricate yourself. A couple of them like follow you. You can feel like a hot, wet breath on your legs as you crawl away. Still that snuffling sound, and you crawl towards the light.
Yes.
As you get closer, it's not as far away as you thought it was. It's just very, very small, and you feel like you're sort of climbing up a steep slope when you get to it. There is loose earth beneath your fingernails, and there's only really enough space for you to put your hand out at the moment.
I'm going to do that. Try and scooch through, see if I can make it bigger and look through.
You start trying to pull it open, and you feel these creatures behind you, but they are you're using them to stand on. They're kind of like pushing you out, almost.
Can I tell what they are?
If you look around, roll a perception check with disadvantage. You don't have hindsight. No, you can't. You're in the dark, and you're so confined in the space right now, you can't see what they're like. You get pushed out, like half pulling yourself out and half getting pushed out into the moonlight. And as you look around, you find yourself in a graveyard, and you've dug your way out of a grave.
Oh.
And the creatures are following you. And as you pull yourself out and step out into the moonlight, you see 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bear cubs following you out.
Is there a tombstone or anything on the grave that I've just crawled out of?
There is.
Can I read it?
It says Gawain.
Wine.
Yeah, Guwine.
Wine.
Gawain.
Anything else? Just that.
Just that. And as you read this name, you turn around to look at the rest of the graveyard, and you just turn in place, and you're back in the temple. You just look around. All of you are now conscious, thinking about what's just happened to you. And as you do, you look over to where Aya is standing, because she's the only source of light. And through this entire thing, she has been standing on a empty plinth. And we'll end the episode there. So I'd like to thank my players, Ellie, Josh, Khalil, and Alice. Would you like to plug your social media? Now is an amazing time to do so.
At MCM Josh.
At Chediana Jones and the Potters of the Lost Ark.
Yes. Finally made it.
Made it.
Oh, wow.
Wait.
And I'm at MCM_Tim. Remember, if you don't know what to do, just roll over and die.